What's going on, people, and welcome to Nerds of the Brown Table, where we talk about Marvel, and more Marvel. Today we're going to talk about a few different things, but before we do, I am here with King Tut.
Yo, we back in this motherfucker. We gonna keep them beepings going because I like to cuss and I don't give a fuck about YouTube's, guidelines. Fuck YouTube. Just kidding. We love you. Keep promoting our videos. Like, subscribe. And we also got with us Jimmy.
What's up, guys? Time to talk more Marvel. We got lots to talk about today. Lots and lots.
All right. So we're going to start it off with, let's talk about She-Hulk, the Daredevil episode.
Wah, wah, wah.
What did you think about the Daredevil episode?
I like the effort in some places, like with the comparing the combat styles and that stuff. That was fun. But a lot of the other stuff was kind of corny and it fell a little flat. But who knows? Maybe the future will look a little better for those who they seem to be hinting that they're a thing.
Yeah, them being a thing, I kind of like, just because of honestly the actors and actresses themselves are pretty well have good chemistry together. The whole episode as a whole is probably better than anything else we had in She-Hulk, which isn't saying a whole lot, but it was still pretty decent. I think the single funniest scene that we've seen on a Disney Plus show is Daredevil doing the Walk of Shame.
Seriously, yeah. When he
great.
had his shoes, I was like,
oh my god, I teared up. I was crying. That was so funny. Full mask, full suit.
He was like, "Good morning," or I don't know.
Yeah, he was just like, "Good morning."
Just happy as heck.
Like, whistling, kept going on his head. He's like, "All right, bro."
Oh,
That was
that's so.
But I think if they wanted that impact more in that episode, or if they just wanted Daredevil as an impact more, they should have brought him in at least one more episode. 2 is just not enough.
Yeah.
1.5.
For me, I thought this episode was the strongest. For me, overall, I felt like episode 1, the Abomination episode, Titania, probably on the lower end, but this one for sure I thought was the better of all of them, and I feel like it was solely because Daredevil was in it, and it made for good action. Because other than that, there was no action in this series, really.
Honestly,
and the action that was there was in that first episode, which is why it's up there. And I guess the Wong episode, but she really just threw things. There's no hand. It's just she's
there was
strong.
no fighting scene longer than 5 seconds.
Yeah, so it was oh, this is refreshing. Here's some entertaining. It was entertaining throughout the whole thing and funny throughout the whole thing, but action wise, which is not what they were promoting, obviously, but it was just, I thought this episode was entertaining. And not only that, but the writing for this episode was a lot stronger than a lot of the other parts of the season, probably because I don't know, the whole lawyer when they went head to head when he first showed up, just he was that whole scene, the back and forth between those two is cool.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that a lot. But his acrobatics, the way they made him move was so much better than the Netflix series.
True.
Obviously,
yeah.
they had
Like
the
fighting
budget.
with each other. That was pretty cool with his acrobatics there.
Yeah. And how he just jumps off roofs and is okay. You just assume he's all right.
Which at this point, with how many superheroes we have, should be expected with everybody.
Yeah, seriously.
Y'all should have your own way down a building. Don't hurt. Not getting hurt.
They gotta give them all.
To get
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
They gotta give them all classes like One Punch Man. You're grade D if you can't scale a building up or down. If you can't fly, you're not B.
Exactly.
That's real. But speaking of which, how did you guys what did you think about the portrayal of Daredevil in this?
I wanted more fighting, obviously, but I see that they're holding back for the Daredevil show because it's 18 episodes, so we're obviously gonna get just a ton of whatever the hell he's gonna bring to us. And he says that he still works at Hell's Kitchen, so obviously he's going back to Hell's Kitchen. Having him as a secondary comedy relief and fuck toy for She-Hulk, amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, man, I like how they made him like funny, and like you can see the Netflix series in him, and you can also see like what's new in him. And then like you were saying, like the combat was good and fresh, and like shit, yeah, it was good. But the writing, is just a little cringe here and there,
Yeah, for sure. Especially when they were like, I don't know, the third
around the family table,
real.
family.
Like, it's just like, calm down. So the cliffhanger part of this episode, so cool. I don't know about you guys, but I was like ready for the finale. I was like, this episode is about to be dope. We're about to go into this, and I don't know, right off the bat, it just didn't carry the emotion that I had in the previous episode over to it. And this has nothing to do with the twist at the end. It just didn't, for me at least. And it just made it seem like the Daredevil episode was less than because of the weird payoff
finale.
it got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I was like, okay.
I did like how they transitioned it, but like you were saying, is a little much. Like how they did, like, wait, the episode's supposed to end right here. It's supposed to be blah, blah, blah. And then they went on and stuff. But yeah.
Man, I didn't like it so much that I can't even remember what even happened. Like, what even happened at the beginning of this episode?
It was just like, right off the bat, you could tell that they were going to do another...
Oh, it was...
Fuck you, this isn't the formula episode.
It was, yeah, it was the meta scene with... I liked that intro, though. The old school Hulk 1987 intro.
That was the shot for shot.
That was amazing.
She-Hulk, that was amazing. That was really cool.
Like, down to a T, you couldn't have done that any fucking better.
Yeah. But still, like, that did not have any of the tone of the end of the episode before it. So it's just like...
And then, like, after that, she's just in prison and then restricted from her She-Hulk powers.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was like...
like,
let's do the same thing that we did with Abomination.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. But we all know that that's not gonna make them not change. Like they are Hulks. It doesn't matter. I understand. Okay, so I don't know. I just want to get into, like, it was cool seeing Abomination, like, at his retreat and stuff with, like, the reveal for Todd being, what is that thing called? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Hulk King?
But what was the organization? Intelligentsia.
Intelligentsia.
Oh, yeah. It was cool, like, to see that he was behind. I mean, okay, here's what I wanted. I wanted him to be a part of it. I didn't want him to be behind it. Like, I wanted him to be a part of the bigger picture, which didn't... He just made the site, He just made the following. So
yeah, he just made the She-Hulk hate site.
It was another one of those things where it's like, there's a cool comic book concept here that they could make into something cool, but they just, like, throw it away because I don't know why. Like, for instance, what's a good example of that? Like, I guess, like, how they treat some of their villains. Like, some of their villains will come in Like Titania's not really a villain in my opinion. You know what I mean?
No, she's
Yeah.
just a jealous person.
A person
powers.
with powers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're not like, where are the villains? You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Like go like beat up her dad or kidnap her mom.
Yeah.
Or something.
and the intelligentsia was just like another instance of, like, for instance, like early in the season they do it 3 times in this season actually, because you get the wrecking crew, which you're like, okay, dope, like there are the wrecking crew, they're henchmen of something bigger. Then you see Wrecker later and you're like, what? It just
Yeah.
like kind of throws you off. You're just like, okay.
It's like a weak reference is worse than just like not referencing that at all. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the Abomination thing, it's like, is he a good guy now? Like, what?
Right.
That's not really what I want. Like, I want some more villains. Like, and
Where's
where
the
are
punching?
the ones?
Where's the smashing?
Yeah, where are the ones that are like throwaway villains that we can beat up? Like, the Wrecking Crew is a perfect example that they just like stop doing what they were. I don't know. So like the fact that we get the Intelligentsia referenced, that's a supervillain team, and then it's just Todd being a dumbass. It's just annoying. Like, it's just like, what,
Come at me, bro.
bro?
That was wild. That was wild.
Oh man.
I also never want to see somebody who's not supposed to be a Hulk become a Hulk ever a fucking again.
Yeah.
That was a waste of CGI money, and he was fucking disgusting.
He didn't
That
even
was
look
gross.
good. Like, they didn't make
No,
him
it
look
wasn't.
good.
It wasn't worth it for him to even look bad.
Yeah.
And then just to make the joke later about like needing to turn the camera away while she transforms back.
Exactly. Nah. Spend the money on her.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
exactly.
I don't know. That was all just very annoying. It was very jarring. It was cool how they did the fourth wall break, because they do get you. You're like, oh shit, what'd I do? And it's
Dude,
not
that menu pop up, that was
Yeah, I
that
was
was
like,
next
hold
level.
up.
I was like,
It's fine,
oh
it's
no
fine.
way.
I was like, oh, hang on. It's still going. That was pretty funny.
So would y'all have preferred the basic formula of following through with a cliffhanger at the end of the season, but not knowing, for instance, like if we didn't know that it was Todd, or if we didn't know Intelligentsia was still behind it. Like, we found that out all in the very last episode.
I think it'd be better than what we got, but you know,
And then focus more on the fighting and everything.
I mean, still a little more. There was barely any lawyering, and there was barely any fighting somehow.
There was no lawyer.
Like, that's what it was supposed to be: lawyer, superhero, right? So
And for how much they built up Titania to be a villain in the series, it was 2 fights. One, the first fight was ended in 2 punches, and the second fight was ended in 3, and then was ended by the bride screaming. Like, that's not a villain, bro. That's not a villain. Ain't no fights.
I like the relationship, and I like that she's not really a villain. But like, when you follow it up with Abomination is not a villain, and there's no gosh, I keep drawing a blank. Intelligentsia.
Yeah.
Then it's just like, so there's no villains in this.
Yeah, so this is just a fucking...
This is just a show.
It's just a show. It's a drama series. Alright, cool. Which, you know, isn't bad at the end of the day, but, you know, our brains are wired to think superheroes need to fight supervillains.
It could have been a comedy with villains
life crisis.
along the way. And
a lot of missed potential, you know. That's all we're really thinking. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay, back to what I was saying before we went on this rant. The meta makes sense for this.
That was what I was just asking about.
Yeah. It makes sense for this. But like you were saying, or like Jimmy just said, it would have been better if it was just the traditional formula. And for me, I would have preferred it in season 2, this meta thing, because phase 4 is trash, bro. Like,
Trash.
if you
so
think
far.
about
Well,
it, because of the fact that we're getting more Disney Plus shows.
Hold on. Someone broke this down on TikTok, and by statistics standpoints, Phase 4 is actually the second best phase that we have.
By like measuring all the ratings and shit.
Measuring the ratings, like Rotten Tomato ratings, percentage of views, like
there's just more content. Like that's all that is.
No, but like actual like ratings of how good it is compared to other stuff. Like
compared to stuff in like phase 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And like granted, as a singular, some of these things aren't that great. But when you look at it as a whole, collective, like phase 4 is everything that we are going to be experiencing for the next decade. And everything before that has almost become irrelevant at this point.
Yeah. All I'm saying is there's more fatigue because there's more content. And if they don't switch it up like they did with Werewolf by Night, it's just gonna become the same. Like they've already had all of the shows that have come out have all concluded in the same way. Like they all save all of the information for the last 2 episodes. They give you some of the information in episode whatever, and then they give you all of it in the finale. That's what they did here, which was no different than anything else. Even though they tried to make fun of themselves and say that it was. But like, I don't know, I would have preferred that over let's pause the episode of this ridiculous formulaic generic MCU ending and let's restructure it so that it's the same formulaic MCU ending because we didn't give you any of the information up front. So
yeah,
it's just like okay, you tried to switch it up, but it really was the same. And I think that's gonna eventually that's gonna start shooting them in the foot if they keep like it's not a movie. It's not like a series. It's not like every episode has to be a film.
I think that's maybe what they're trying to get away from, though.
But every episode is like, I mean, I know that they have to have cliffhangers, but like, why can't we get like a character or like a concept or something at the beginning of the episode as opposed to the end of an episode and then wait until the next episode to figure out what's going on?
And then not even necessarily have them in the episode or not, in the next episode or not.
Yeah, that too. Talk about this 8.
Okay, so there was a report that came out after this episode came out, the finale episode, that the writers had pushed it through the room that they wanted Edward Norton to come back. And they wanted him to fight in the last scene against Abomination when he drops into the retreat room. And he goes, "Ah!" And then, proceeds to throw 4 punches and then gets cut out the scene. Anyway, that was originally Edward Norton was supposed to come back for that, or it was thrown across the room that he should come back for that. What do you guys think would have been the uproar if they had put him in there?
If it was that, it wouldn't have been enough, man. I feel like they gotta give him a little more, give him a bigger role.
I agree. Yeah, like everybody would have been upset. They would have been like, there's not enough time with him, and we like that version of the Hulk because it's not the smart Hulk version, which everybody doesn't like right now. So they'd just be real mad. And it would be doubly so because it's like, why and where and how and what did this Edward Norton Hulk get in here? And I know this is the multiverse saga, but what? That would have just made more problems for them.
Especially since Mark Ruffalo called it out in the episode when he's like, I
Right.
literally was a different person.
I was a different guy. Yeah.
It's like, okay, so if you bring that guy in, where the fuck are you? Like, y'all ain't just about to be switching spots willy-nilly like you're twins. Y'all ain't fucking twins.
And all of a sudden, is this Spider-Man like No Way Home? Like,
Yeah, nah. I'm glad they kind of stayed away from it. That would have been dope to see him.
So when she went into the real world, were you guys disappointed it wasn't Kevin?
dude, I really wanted actual Kevin. That would have been
Yeah.
I really
amazing. But I
wanted him
get
to.
it though. I get not.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way they got him in here. There's no way. And I was just like in my back of the head, like, yes, please.
I think
Go ahead.
I would have been more satisfied if they put a real baseball cap on his head. But, you know, they kind of gave him, like, the makeshift one.
Yeah.
Because that was one thing that he asked during the scene. Because he had, that was, like, this is, like, his whole scene. And that was one thing that he wanted, was just a baseball cap on the top of the robot. But for me, well, first of all, I want to address that this is the room where he's announced every fucking waking moment of our lives for the last 20 years. And in the room, we got to see more than we've ever seen before. And did you guys see the towers of the #1 issue comics of all fucking Marvel shows? Or Marvel characters?
I did not.
So, like, around everywhere, there's pillars. And in those pillars is comic book #1s of fucking every Marvel character. If you look close enough, you could tell. I thought that was amazing. But as a whole scene, I think it was dumb. They should have stuck with whatever formula they were going with. Not had her come in and interfere to whatever the hell this was. It was just too much. It was too much fourth wall. Too much fourth wall. That's Deadpool level.
Yeah.
She not Deadpool.
You nailed it. Like, I don't know. People out there love it, man. And I was just like, it was an overload. Like, it would have been cool if it was like what she had continued to do throughout the whole thing, like reference it, but go along with it.
Yeah.
But like, this was just like, it was her. Like, I get they wanted to do exactly what they did in the Hulk comics, or the She-Hulk comic, where she jumped off the panel, went to the writer's room, talked to like Stanley and everybody or whatever. But it was too soon. Like, it's not like they started off a She-Hulk comic and was like, let's put this weird ass panel in here. Like
if
like,
they
what are you
they were
doing?
just as comic accurate as they were in the last episode, as they were in every episode, it would have been perfect.
You talking about the Daredevil episode, right? Or what episode are you talking about?
All of them. Like, the Daredevil episode and the finale episode were the only, like, super comparable to comic episodes that they had. The other ones had, like, glimpses of it, but like, if they kept the same formula for those last two as for the other 6, it would have been a perfect transition. It would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But they just
It
threw
would
it
have
at
felt
us.
like a whole. It would have felt like a whole issue, you know.
Yeah.
But they were just like,
Oh, now she has an
this
issue.
weird episode. It's just like that whole thing came out of like left field. You're just like,
Yeah.
you're just like, it's like somebody spun you around a whole bunch, and then you tried to walk straight. That's what I felt like happened in this episode. I was like, wait a second. Okay, now I'm back here with the Hulk and Scar. Okay, what?
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was wild, yo. That was wild.
Speaking of wild, Daredevil fell straight out of the sky.
Yeah, dude, that was funny.
It was pretty
Hold on.
funny, but I was
Also-
like, where did he come from?
Also, before we get to Daredevil, I have other issues. So,
Yeah.
we saw her break the fourth wall and swing into whatever we call it.
Uh-huh. Assembled something.
We never saw her take off her fucking ankle monitor.
She did that off screen and was like, I gotta take this ankle thing off first. Didn't she do that, like... I feel like she did it, like, while the
No,
fourth
'cause she
wall
was-
break happened.
She was restricted the whole time while everything was breaking when she was in the retreat. And then she was like, let's do something else. And then the Disney Plus thing popped up and She-Hulk popped up out of it.
I'd have to rewatch that scene in
She's
particular.
just going crazy.
But
Like-
yeah, she didn't have the... But also, back to my point, they're Hulks. Like what is this little ankle bracelet gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
Why hasn't
Maybe until,
Banner
like, a
figured that
new-
out? I guarantee you Banner's smarter than the fucking... who the fuck put it on there? Damage Control?
Yeah.
I guarantee you fucking Banner's smarter than Damage Control. Why hasn't he figured out a suppressant ankle monitor?
Maybe he doesn't want that.
Well, I think didn't he have
That's
one?
what he's been working on the whole time.
No, dude, didn't he have one at the beginning of the show, actually, in the first
He
episode?
has- He had one that regulates his... Yeah, he did.
It was maybe slightly different or whatever. Maybe they built from his design, you know?
No way. Because he was so secretive about his designs and stuff.
Okay.
Also, like, man, can we go back to this first episode? That episode was amazing. Like, I don't know.
I was so
I just got
excited
brought back to
after
that
the first
episode
episode,
with
bro.
this conversation. Like, it started off the series with a bang, and I was like, okay. And then it did what it did.
Oh, you're right. Okay. She did break it.
Okay, she does, like, she mentions it at some point or something.
She just said, let me just break this inhibitor real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so, well, she violated her parole.
Yep.
Know that.
I can't believe they tried to put Abomination back in that prison cell. I like how Wong got him, though. Wong's got his back. Still, though, don't know what's happening. Is he a
I
villain?
don't understand that correlation at all.
They didn't explain it. They were like, yeah, we trained together because I was trying to do whatever I was trying to... What was this? I can't remember the fighting technique. But he was like, I had to train because I was Sorcerer Supreme. And, but it was clear in Shang-Chi the relationship was more than what they even said in the series.
Right.
Right.
Which is like, okay, now we gotta wait longer to figure this out. Okay. Got it.
Okay, but moving on. Daredevil? Falling from the sky?
Yeah, right, back to that.
Before I start grilling Scar?
Why? Why the weird... Like, she was like, no, we can't do this. This is weird. And then we go back, and it's just as weird. And I was just like, what? What happened?
She's like, I gotta see Mad again.
What did
No,
you
you
guys
don't.
think? Yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think of her? Like, I know you liked it, Trey. Jimmy, what did you think of her thirst for Matt Murdock?
Dude, she was all up on him, and he was all up on her. And you know, I can dig it. I guess it's like you don't see much of that in any Marvel show, so it's nice to at least get a kind of an adult show. But as far as the characters go, I mean, I can see it. I mean, they're both lawyers. They're both, you know, around the same age and sexy, and and they're superheroes. You know, it's like how Olympic athletes, they just, you know, fuck all the time. So it's like superheroes, whenever they need, they just fuck all the time.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what did you guys think of this Scar reveal? This just probably the weakest point of the show.
Yeah, that was a whole just like, wait, what is this now?
Throw him in there. She said save it for the movie. He was like, nope, and threw him in there anyways. Like, why did you not listen, Kevin? Like, dude, like, I've been seeing explanations for why his haircut is so bad. And somebody claims that Stan Lee, as the haircut guy, gave him a bad haircut.
That's what I was. I swear to God, that's what I was thinking. But I was like, "There's no fucking way they make this reference with him gone."
Right. Like, no, I don't know.
No, like he's not finna. First of all, you're not finna disrespect Stan Lee by saying he gave him that haircut. Fuck off. Well, he did a great job on Thor. First of all, why'd you have to say that?
That's just what if you want to accept that theory, to accept the fact that Scar has a bad haircut, do that, people.
Otherwise, let us know what you think.
I just think they wanted to do a different design choice, and their design choice is just not very good. Because everybody loves Scar with the long hair. Bring back Scar with the long hair. We need Scar with the long hair.
Cut the locks.
And also, why does his hair have to be the same shade of green as his skin? Can we get it dark? That is all.
That is all.
I don't know. I like how in the comics they're a different shade of green. They're the same shade of green. And I don't accept. Like Scar is more like how you gonna combine a gray person with a green green monster and just have the baby be the same shade of green?
Yeah, dude, that's bogus.
You know what I mean? Like gray green is the option. Like, that is the correct option.
I'm real curious to figure out who the mom is, or
is it still Kyra? I don't know. Where's Hiro Kala? I don't know. Is Hiro Kala green? I don't know. Because he's not in the comics.
So many questions.
Oh man, I don't know. It was an underwhelming reveal. I like everything but his haircut. And we gotta
I'm
wait
glad
a long time.
that they're actually setting up World War Hulk, though. That kind of confirms it. Or at least confirms.
Who knows if it's... I feel like they should wait for the World War
movie.
Hulk. And, like, they gotta wait on that until we get, like, a Wolverine in the mix. Because we need a World War Hulk with Wolverine. Like, if we can get, like, a Hyperion or Sentry or Blue Marvel and just have them all fight.
Well, I don't think that... Unless that they show up in Deadpool 3, I don't think that Wolverine thing's gonna happen.
We still don't know when this movie's gonna happen either.
I
We just know they have a plan to make one.
I have a strange feeling that I'm okay with. That Wolverine is completely killed off in the Marvel Universe after Deadpool 3. And they just run into X-23 after that.
That is incorrect. That is not the right path. Wolverine is too dope.
I don't...
Bro, I don't want that at all.
For me, I don't care about the Wolverine storyline enough for the want for someone else to play him.
Man, I care a great
like
deal.
not enough for someone else besides Hugh Jackman.
Man, I think it's time.
I don't want it to get ruined.
I don't think it'll be ruined. I think they gotta figure out a person who has the chops to play a good Wolverine.
Bro. This man has been Wolverine.
And Hugh Jackman is like a different version of what the MCU Wolverine would be. Hugh Jackman had the horrible writing of Fox. Besides, like Logan.
But the thing is, he's been Wolverine in 10 movies, over 22 years.
And it is time for him to say goodbye.
And for it to never be picked up again.
New Wolverine to come in.
Put the 3 claws down. Pick up the 2. Leave the middle
We
finger.
can have them both congruently. We need to have them both at the same time. Like, why not?
We don't need that motherfucker no more, man.
We need multiple Wolverine characters, just like we need multiple Hulk characters.
Nah.
Speaking of multiple Hulks, we got 3, 4, and about to be 5. Now,
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about Abomination, Red Hulk, She-Hulk, Scar, and Hulk. That's
thought
5.
You were talking about,
No, I was just talking.
What's his name?
We talking about?
Hold on.
Cut all this out right now. Who is your favorite character in this? Jimmy's like, I don't know if I have a favorite character.
Yeah, I mean, everyone had pros and cons for sure. I really liked some of the side characters actually the most. Some of those side cases, like the Immortal guy, Mr. Immortal, he was pretty dope. Even though he was a douchebag or whatever, but the concept was really cool. And then, yeah, I don't know. She-Hulk was pretty cool, but Daredevil I really liked. I think I'll say he's number 2 for me. I really liked his the portrayal in this, and I think it's kind of like the logical way to go for MCU Daredevil. Unfortunately, it won't be as dark probably, but you know, he can be funny too. So
yeah, I think Mr. Immortal was probably my favorite through the series, even for that episode. Other than that, probably Abomination. I think that whole retreat thing he's doing and
that was hilarious.
Being a positive influence. He's like, oh yeah, I only turn into Abomination once in a while. It's okay. It's for the people. It's like, that is just so funny to me. What about you, Sean?
I think Abomination too. Just because I just like, even though he's not a villain right now, I like the rivalry of him and Hulk, and I also like how goofy and weird he was in this. I still have no idea what's going on with him though, but yeah, I liked Abomination. Also, could he be more chill? He was like throughout the whole like therapy session, he's sitting there with his leg crossed, like fingers like intertwined, like. And how did that make you feel? Or get it all? Like, I don't know. His whole vibe during his whole like retreat was hilarious. I'm hoping. Here's what I'm hoping for Abomination. I'm hoping that like the Hulk, like She-Hulk, I'm hoping that each one of these people who is a Hulk have different variations of their Hulk form and personalities.
Ooh.
Kind of how they're glimpsing at angry She-Hulk.
Yes, because like in episode 8, she was gonna be, I don't know. She looked like she was like tear shit up.
She was raging. She was there. I think there was almost a moment where her personality was almost splitting to the point of banners, where there's a Hulk and there's a banner. Because that's the difference, is she doesn't have that.
That's what I was thinking too. And she does have like the Savage She-Hulk persona where she's more buff. So I'm hoping that like that is gonna become an actual thing that we see later. And I'm hoping that for Abomination, when he was fighting Wong and he was getting pissed off in that fight in Shang-Chi, that wasn't just like for show. I'm hoping that when the Hulks fight, because we saw it even in the first episode when they fought. They were fighting and they were getting more pissed, or at least the Hulk was getting more pissed off as he was fighting.
Yeah.
And I felt like kind of in that moment She-Hulk was kind of getting a little into it too. And in that 8th episode, it just solidified it for me that that's probably what was happening. So
Yeah.
I feel like if they continue on with this, like, okay, you have somewhat of a control, but still you have this other side where you just lose absolute control. I think that needs to be in everything and be a constant throughout. And I feel like that will make for more compelling Hulk type character stories. If that is more on, because it's just like it kind of fell by the wayside. Like you get it with the Hulk in like the first Avengers movies, and then it just falls off for Infinity War, and almost for like Thor Ragnarok too, because the Hulk's just calm for the most part and acting like an idiot. But it's that conflict, that inner conflict that we're missing from all these Hulk characters.
Yeah, and I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I think the one time that we like really kind of saw it was first Avengers when he was like, "I'm always angry," and that was after he had just held the scepter and had just been dropped off a fucking building and gone through all this other shit with everybody and like argued with them. And since then, you know, he's been at, you know, pretty much peace and hasn't had issues like that. Got his shit tossed by Thanos and then went into hiding. And so I don't think he's broken the barrier between peace and anger because he's afraid of I don't think he's afraid of Hulk anymore. I think he's afraid of not being Hulk. Like not being the Hulk that everybody expects him to be.
Right.
Like not being strong enough, even though he is, but you know, we saw him fail against Thanos. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully he gets his arm broken by somebody and snaps out of it.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to get something to really jog him out of this. Like, I don't know. He's really almost regressed, like back, like less like powerful and more just like using his brain. Which is, I mean, he's doing great things obviously, but yeah, it's not as much hulkiness.
At this point, like the way Scar looks, kill Scar. and then let him go crazy.
Yeah, for real. What was your favorite part throughout the whole of this season?
Walk of shame.
That
For sure.
was a good part.
Dude, I think I really like the Daredevil break-in sequence. Like the
blue
contrast there. That was really funny, just the back and forth and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed like the Daredevil car part. If that makes sense. When she smashes the parking lot and he's gotta like jump around and all that. I really liked it. I really enjoyed seeing him do his acrobatics. Hard second though has gotta be like Hulk versus She-Hulk though.
Yeah. I wanted a little bit more. I was happy that when he was teaching her like the moves and he was teaching her the clap and she just kept going and just fucked him up. I was like, okay.
That was great.
Because I mean, we haven't seen Hulk really do that besides just like do that to some Ultron bots.
Yeah. He did the thunderclap to Abomination.
Yeah.
What was your biggest beef with the series, either as a whole or your biggest?
Titania. It's just irrelevant. Like if we had the whole series the same way and you just removed Titania, like even the court scene, if you had just taken that out and finished it off like a lawyer would, the series would have been the exact same, if not maybe even a little bit better. Like, to me, the whole fucking stealing my image, stealing my brand thing, that shit was so dumb. That shit was so dumb.
Yeah, I didn't like how they, like we were saying before, like they didn't. They were dipping their feet in both pools of superhero or lore show, but
Yeah.
never like going enough into each of or either of them. You know, that was really annoying to see. Like it kind of fall flat in both or like all regards.
Yeah.
I think my biggest beef was the crappy finale. I just like didn't. I understand everything. I get why they did it all. Does that mean I have to like it? No. Like I just like you want. They're like you want something different. Here it is. But like, do you have to be such a dick about it? Like, like okay, but we didn't actually mean this different. I don't know. What do you guys think about the series 1 through 10?
Oh boy.
It's hard because there's like hits and misses. And like if I take certain good moments out, it like completely depletes the show. I give it like, y'all remember Scary Movie 2? This is my strong hand.
Oh my god, yeah.
I give it like a strong hand 7.
Where does the strong hand come from?
Strong hand 7.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, if you take 5 as average, you know, and like, what is an average Marvel show? I'd say it's like, I mean, I liked it, you know, I liked most of it, or like more than not of it. So I'd say like, yeah, in between like 6 and 7 or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't amazing, but it was okay.
Ain't no WandaVision.
Very easy, yeah. It's very easy to nitpick it though. It's like, you know, obviously all the trolls like to just rag on it for those reasons, but there's lots of like little things wrong too that they just kind of do differently and like do weird, and so they took a chance, you know, and I respect that. So
I think like with the finale, it's a hard like 5 for me. Without it, it's like a 6.
that finale
It was just
really down a notch.
It was just all right. Like the payoff was like maybe there was supposed to be no payoff, but the payoff that I was assuming was there just did not hit. And I just don't like how they're doing the Hulk characters. So
Yep. They've been doing
for
it
me,
wrong,
it's just like,
the
no.
movie since the
Yeah.
the beginning of the MCU.
Seriously. So yeah, I'm sitting at a 5. But let us know what you think in the comments section below. What did you like about She-Hulk? What did you not like about She-Hulk? Did you like the finale? Let us know.
All your little nitpicky things that we were finding, stuff like that, you know.
If you got some, you know, fan art pictures of Scar that you would rather have out there rather than the bullshit that we saw, drop them in the comments.
We'll take a stick figure version. That'd be better.
Yeah.
You know?
And we'll put it on our next.
Link us to your TikTok and we'll check it out. Because anything's better than that bullshit.
Show us what Scar should have looked like. Well, you have been listening to Nerds of the Round Table. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Follow us on Marvel, More Marvel, on TikTok and Instagram. And here are those QR codes for TikTok and Instagram so you can easily find it. And
catch you on the flip side. Peace, love, and chicken grease.
Peace.
He's oh.